All right, let's take a look here.
Now that I own the building, I'm looking for new sources of revenue. And a daycare center? Well, I guess it's not an evil idea, it's just a regular idea, but there's no good laugh for a regular idea.
Nice. I think it's coming along really well, Carlos. Really nice. All right, when I watch it, I do have this feeling that you may have too much going on. It's just something to watch for. I don't think it's going to require any big changes, but as you move forward, you don't want it to be too busy. So I think the motion and movement I'm seeing in there now, like the amount of poses, more or less works. It's kind of a matter of making sure you don't make too much of a meal of some of these transitional poses.
Now that I own the building, I'm looking for new sources of revenue.
Okay, well this is an example that I think you have too much here on the hand. So he says, now that I own the building, I have new sources of revenue. You're gesturing 2 times with the arm and it's too much. When people talk, I think when it comes to good acting, when people talk, they're not acting out what they're saying, they're acting out the ideas that they're thinking, the main points. It's not that they're acting out every word or every sentence. So in this case,
now that I own the building, I'm looking for new sources of revenue.
So he said, now that I own the building, I have new sources of revenue. I mean, it could be as simple as just one arm gesture, one pose. The arm doesn't have to come out, go back, and then come out again. I would do this. Let's say he just hits this pose. So go from here to here, and then he comes back to this pose sooner. Because he doesn't hit this for very long, he settles just for a moment, and then he goes into this. Unless I might be reading your blocking wrong. If this isn't going to be a pose that you hold, then that's fine. You can just hold this, and maybe this is just a transitionary pose. If this is going to be a pose that you want to hold, you want to get to it a little sooner. But if you're going to move right through it, then I think that's okay.
Of revenue. At a daycare center?
I like the laughing. I think that is all working really well, how he goes into the laugh. I think you want to exaggerate the laugh a little bit more. You know, do something a little bit more like with the bounce, you know, as he's laughing. Just a little bit, like. I think that will be nice to exaggerate that just a little bit. Not too much. You don't want to be like too repetitive.
Well, I guess it's not an evil idea.
And he's entertaining himself, I think, with what he's doing. So as he exhales, I think he should keep a smile on his face. I wouldn't lose the smile there. He doesn't have to feel evil anymore, but I think he would keep a smile. You know, yeah, keep the smile a little longer. I like the idea that he is making himself laugh. So keep that smile. Let's see, I'm looking at this pose. This feels a little odd to me in how his fingers are tapered and kind of resting on his leg. You know, I wonder if it would feel a little bit better with the way he's designed to have his fingers kind of run along his leg a little more, so you can see the side of his hand and the side of his fingers, and then the thumb come down in here. And this leg can come up a little bit higher. And the foot, I think, you can see the bottom of that foot a little bit more at some point before it drops. I think you should see that. The knee does not need to come up higher. It's more the base of the leg and just a little, and the foot, turn up the foot a little bit.
Well, I guess it's not an evil idea.
So here's an example of something that feels a little bit busy to me. He rests his hands on the arms, but then they come off the arms pretty quickly. One goes to his leg and one goes to the base of the chair. And I don't see a purpose to go to the arms of the chair if his hands are going to come back off the arms so quickly.
It's a regular idea, but there's no good laugh for a regular idea.
So make a choice there. I would either leave his hands on the arms of the chair the whole time and he's just relaxing like this with his arms on the chair, or they drop straight to his lap. I would say do one or the other. And when he gestures with his arm here, I wouldn't make too much of a meal out of this gesture. I don't think I would thrust the hand forward. I was listening to JP's notes on that, and I think JP was definitely right in the fact that you're hitting the beat on this too much on the mark. But I would go further and say that you don't really want to hit it as a pose, it's more of a transition. So, for example, if I'm going to make that choice, my hand's down here, I say, there's no good laugh. Blah, 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 blah. So my hand is just moving through it. I'm gesturing, but I don't stop. It's like I'm not moving forward, back, just, there's no good laugh. So see how I'm just kind of moving through it? I'm not really hitting a pose, and I think that feels more natural. This is a little tricky, and at least the way my legs work, my knee will always be higher than my ankle, or at least parallel. It will be straight, parallel to the ground. The knee will never drop below my ankle. And so I would try that and see, just raise this knee up and see how that feels. He's so skinny and has such long legs, I have this feeling that it might look strange. But see if you could get it so his knee is not so much lower than his ankle. Maybe drop this down, let the pants penetrate. Actually, that'll help. Let the pants penetrate into this knee a little bit. Then raise this knee a little bit. So drop the ankle a little, raise the knee a little, and see how far that gets you. And you also might try adjusting the position of this leg so it's not completely foreshortened. So I can't see his thigh at all. If you shift the leg over just this way a little bit, screen right, then maybe I can see a little bit of his hip and thigh, and that might feel a little more natural. Because right now, the silhouette of him just feels like one shape. And it'd be nice if you could break that up a little bit. Nice work. And just keep on moving forward with it. I think you have some really good acting in there. All right? Okay, we'll hope to see it again next time.